Let's have a look now about how you'd go about installing mAudio and getting started. There's two ways you can do this. First of all is simply to go and visit the mAudio website at maudio.coplex.com. There's lots of things you can do here. You can download the release binaries, you can read the documentation, you can view the source code, you can get hold of the demo applications here, and there's also a support forum. Let's have a quick look at the website now. So here's the mAudio homepage. You can see here on the front page that we've got the latest news of the latest releases. The reason you don't see 1.7 on there yet is that actually I'm just about to release it. By the time you watch this video, mAudio 1.7 will have been released. It's got the mAudio features, and you might also find this interesting, a list of projects using mAudio, several of which are open source, so you can look at the code and see how it's used. If we click this tab, we can see the mAudio source code. You can browse around the latest source code, and you can also look at the commit history to see what's been added. If you'd like to contribute to mAudio, you can create your own fork. mAudio uses the mercurial version control system, which is similar to Git in the way it works. You create a fork, commit your changes to the fork, and then issue a pull request. On the Downloads tab, you'll be able to see the downloads for the latest release of mAudio. The release download contains maudio.dll, and you can extract that zip file and add a reference to the DLL from your project. There's also a download of the source code as it was at the time of this release, and a separate download of the demo apps that we'll look at later. In the Documentation tab, there's a number of FAQs as well as some links to various articles on how to use mAudio. One thing to bear in mind is that because much of mAudio is wrappers for Windows APIs, you'll also find the MSDN documentation of those Windows APIs useful as you try to explore what is possible using mAudio. Under the Discussions tab, this is where you can go to ask questions about mAudio. And I, or a number of the other contributors to mAudio, will try and answer your questions as quickly as possible here. And if you've got a problem with mAudio, you can report it using the Issues tab. And another place you can go to ask questions about mAudio is on Stack Overflow, tagging your question with mAudio. And there's about 500 mAudio questions on there, most of which have been answered. There's another way to install mAudio that's very straightforward, and that's by using NuGet. Whenever I create a new version of mAudio, I upload it to the NuGet site. So here we see the URL of the mAudio package. Here you can see the NuGet gallery page for mAudio, and you can see here that the latest version is in fact a pre-release. I upload not only the main releases of mAudio, but also some pre-release versions, so it allows you to also experiment with the latest builds of mAudio if you'd like. And you can see here the version history of mAudio, including the official releases and the pre-releases. Let's quickly look at how you would use NuGet to add the mAudio reference to one of your projects. To start with, you do need to make sure that you've got the NuGet Package Manager extension installed in Visual Studio. I'm using Visual Studio 2012 here. Now we'll create a new project. And we'll create a WPF application. Now we can go into the Solution Explorer, right-click on our project and select Manage NuGet Packages. If we then type mAudio into this query box here, it will find the main mAudio library as well as the WMA extension library. And there's another one that somebody else has created for Vorbis support. You can see here that because I've got Include Pre-Release selected, it's offering me the latest pre-release version. I could select Stable Only, and it will offer me 1.6. You should see 1.7 or newer when you try this. So if I reselect the 1.7 pre-release and click Install, and then look in the Solution Explorer, we'll see that now we've got the mAudio DLL as a reference. And it also shows us the README, in which I thank all of the contributors to mAudio. Having added the mAudio reference, we can now go into our code and start creating mAudio components. For example, if we wanted to create the waveOut object, we'd need to add a using mAudio.wave namespace statement, and then we'd be ready to start using it.